Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly chat. So let's get started with our very first question from Liliana Rodriguez. Which LV purse do you use on rainy days? My Louis Vuitton rainy day purse has been and always will be my Speedy 35 in Damier Ben. I like it because of the size. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about the Vachetta changing color because it does have the color treated leather, and it is my favorite print. It is large enough that it fits a nice size umbrella in there, and the minute I see rain clouds rolling in, I go for this baby. And I have been caught in some crazy downpours in this, and the canvas looks as good as the day that I purchased it. So therefore it will have to be my Speedy 35 in Damier Ben, or just Damier Ben in general is such a great print because I mean, well, I like the originality of it, so it is the original print, and I like the fact that it comes with a color-treated leather, so I don't have to worry about patina or anything like that. Okay, next question. Tara Ramos, do you believe Louis Vuitton's quality is going down? Ooh, this is a great question. I do have some thoughts on this, and I don't know if everyone's going to agree with them, but this is my opinion. Okay, so I know that most of these luxury handbag or luxury fashion houses tend to have quality control issues, you know, here and there. It's going to happen. As I said in the last Q&A video, I don't think that they would offer some of these spa, you know, spa services or repair services if they didn't think that something would happen eventually to a piece. But lately, I seem to keep reading more and more about Louis Vuitton's quality. Their canvas cracking very quickly. Before canvas cracking used to happen when you bought a vintage bag, or, you know, if you've had the bag for 20 years or 15 years, then it started to crack. Or they start to have distinct smells. But so far, I have read so many different threads, so many different blogs where it talks about people being really dissatisfied with the quality of Louis Vuitton, in specific, their canvas bags. And, you know, it's such a shame because, I mean, I have quite a few canvas bags and I like canvas, but it's very off-putting when you hear so many things going on. And another thing is, I read once upon a time that a representative for Louis Vuitton actually said that they want to be labeled as, they want to be up there with Chanel and Hermes. They want that same clientele. They want to get away, what did they say? I don't know the quote exactly, so forgive me. But they want to get away from canvas bags. That's why they keep raising the prices, because they want the same clientele. And that, I don't know about you guys, but that kind of struck a nerve with me because most of their revenue comes from canvas bags. Most people buy canvas bags, and I know a lot of other people buy Epi and, you know, even the more expensive, even their exotic leathers. I get that. But a lot of their clientele goes for the canvas bags, and whether it's because it's a little bit more affordable than buying their leather line, or it's the fact that you like the history of the canvas, regardless, for someone to say that they want to get away from that and they want the clientele that Hermes has and Chanel has, it makes me feel like, okay, so do you think that my money is not good enough? And don't get me wrong, I love Louis Vuitton, and this is just my opinion on it, but it's, I mean, you're going to get different clienteles for different things. How do you know that you're going to get someone that started off with canvas and then they outgrow canvas and they go into leather? You have no idea. So just because Hermes and Chanel, you know, have a certain type of clientele, a lot of the same clientele are the same people that buy Louis Vuitton canvas. And sometimes, I know this is going to sound crazy, but sometimes I feel that they don't pay as much attention to the canvas as they do their leather line for that same reason. And I know, I mean, obviously they wouldn't, in a sense, shoot themselves in the foot by making lower quality canvas. But I think they're going to spend more time and more effort in a $5,000 bag than on a $990 bag. That's just my thoughts on it. It just seems funny that once they started saying that, and it's actually happened more than once that they've said that they want the same clientele, they don't want the same customers getting canvas, they want to get away from canvas. It's like, okay, you're Louis Vuitton, you are known for your canvas. get over it. It's going to happen. Your canvas has been around for a very long time, and obviously you were doing something right. So there's no reason to try to get away from it. It's something, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of really popular singers that started off with, you know, a popular song in, like, say, the 1980s or the 1970s, and then people are still requesting that song when they do a tour, and the artist just says, you know what, I'm sick and tired of singing that song. Okay, but that's what made you. That's why we love that artist, or that's why we like that brand. So I kind of got away from the quality thing, but I do feel that their quality has started to gone down. I know they tried to revamp the canvas and make it a little bit more reinforced. But, I mean, regardless, through all these things that they're doing, I feel that there's just so many people out there that are saying that there's something wrong with it. In particular, the Pochette Matisse, there have been quite a few people that talk about the flap actually cracking on the sides, and they had the bag maybe a week. And, I mean, like I said, it's going to happen, but when people keep buying the same item and it keeps happening, it continues to happen with the same piece, that's a little, I mean, that's not all right. So I don't know, maybe it's just my thoughts, but like I said, it struck a nerve with me when I heard the representative for Louis Vuitton say something about that. And maybe the quality is going down, but there are some pieces that I still have that have withstood the test of time. But I mean, I don't know. With as many things as we hear about it, one might think that the quality is going down. So it's a maybe yes. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. Okay, Cat Lux Love 8811. I have a few friends telling me that I only buy luxury goods for the name brand, and if LV or CC was sewn on them, I would buy it no matter what the cost. How do I get them to understand a piece with a designer logo is so much more than that? You can't. I mean, you can tell them till you're blue in the face that, oh, you know, it's the quality and it's the history and it's that. But if someone doesn't like luxury goods, if they don't appreciate luxury goods, they're going to tell you their opinion. Oh, I think you're spending too much money on this. You know, it's just because you're buying the label. And I'm not going to lie, in some cases, you are buying. Part of the price tag is the label. I mean, it is what it is. But a lot of it is also the quality of it. Like I said before, again, the history of it. There's just so many different aspects that make up a designer logo besides just the name. But you're not going to, there's nothing you can do to change their mind. Like I said, you can tell them till you're blue in the face, but they're going to go with what they think. And, you know, I would just ignore them. And if they say something, you could just say, you know what you like and I like what you like, and let's just leave it at that. And maybe they'll just stop bothering you about that. But you can always let them know, you know, I don't judge you on what you like, and continue forward. You don't have to be mean about it, but you can always just say, hey, I don't appreciate it. Let's just end it right there. Let's agree to disagree on what we like. That's always such a magical phrase. Let's agree to disagree. Okay, Nettie Ward. My darling friend Nettie. How has your walk stood the test of time? Have the sides of the wallet where the chain run up show any signs of wear or rubbing on the leather? And I actually brought it out so I can show you guys because it is in its little sleeper. All right. I can safely say, I can happily say that there is nothing. I mean, it looks like probably like the day I bought it as well, with the only difference that maybe there's a little bit more wrinkling on the side right here, just from putting items in there and then the leather expanding and then just going back. But as you can see, there is no wear whatsoever on the edges right here. And even on the little CC logo, there's like no wear on the hardware. But no, I have been very happy with this. There is no rubbing whatsoever, even on the inside. As you can see, there's nothing there. Sorry, it's starting to white out because I'm getting too close to the camera. But no, I mean, there is some little wear as far as it, like I said, it just being a little bit more wrinkled than before. But it has definitely stood the test of time. That's what I was telling you guys about this little zipper right here, that it tends to dig in if you don't use this little felt. So make sure you put the felt in there so that you avoid that. But no, I'm happy to say I don't know how either, because when I first started using the wok, I was very careful. I was kind of like, you know, I don't want anything to happen to it because it was so hard to come by. But now when I use it, I don't even think twice about it, and I've had no problems, and I'm so excited. And I know some people have had problems with their leather chain or the chain rubbing up on that, but I don't see any problems with it. I highly recommend it. I think Nettie, if I'm not mistaken, she has a mini flap and she doesn't have a wok, so maybe it's time to get one. Okay, next question. Alice Cribs. I want a small bag to take with me to run a few errands. Which is better for this purpose, the Eva or the Favorite MM? Or should I just get the Speedy 30 in Demi Ebene I have been wanting? I have a few other goodies in mind to purchase, so I wanted to stay under $1,000. Well, if you're going to run errands, 9 times out of 10, you want to be hands-free, right? You just want to be able to grab and go. You don't have to worry about holding a big bag. So for that matter, I probably wouldn't go with the Speedy 30 if you want to be hands-free. However, if the Speedy 30 is something that you absolutely have always had your eye on, I would say to get it, even though it is going to be over the $1,000 mark, but before the price increase. I know we keep hearing rumors that the price increase is going to happen in November. Either November or October. So just keep that in mind. But out of the two, between the Eva and the Favorites, I like both of them. I think they're both great bags. The only difference for me is that the Eva has a larger strap than the Favorite. The Favorite just tends to, it's a smaller strap and it tends to sit a little bit higher than I would like. When I put it on, it actually hit my chest a little too much. And it was just a little bit more difficult for me to be able to look inside of the bag or to be able to interact with the bag. If I have a bag that's a little bit lower, it's easier for me to get in and out of it with ease. So therefore, I went for, I chose the Eva, or I have the Eva, but I thought about getting the Favorite. But like I said, some people like the Favorite. They absolutely love the Favorite and not the Eva, and vice versa. But just for the sole purpose of the strap length, I would go for the Eva clutch. I feel that the Favorite fits a little bit more because of its structure. It's a little bit more square or rectangular versus the Eva has the pleated slides that take away from how much you could actually fit in there. So what I would recommend is just maybe going to the store and trying out both of them, because maybe the Favorite lands on your body frame different than mine did, and you can always go for that. But you can't go wrong with either one. Personally, I chose the Eva. Okay. Lovely friends. What are your thoughts on the Kesa? I think it's Kesa. It's the new line. I've heard the new Kesa wallet from Louis Vuitton. I've heard it's similar to the Emily. I think it's Kesa. I know I'm butchering it because I just spoke to someone about it the other day. Kesa, something like that. But anyways, this wallet retails for $500 here in the States, and it is extremely similar to the Emily wallet, with the only difference that the sides of the wallet actually have the diamond shape of the Demi Ebene. Instead of it being like this, the diamonds are this way on the edges. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, when it first came out, I actually got on the list for it. And they were going to ship it out to my house. But I actually decided against it because I felt that the new bags for Demi Ebene, as I told you guys last week, are a little too busy. And even though I like the SLGs that came out, I especially like the little card case, but I felt that that wallet looked very similar to the Emily. And since the Emily to me is very similar to the Josephine, I already have 3 Josephines, so I would only end up going towards one Demi Ebene wallet than the other, and I didn't want to have 2 kind of similar, so I decided against it. But it is very similar to the Emily, to answer your question. It just has that beautiful rose ballerine interior. So if you want the rose ballerine with the Demi Ebene, it makes for a very nice contrast. So I was gonna get it. I was gonna get it, but I already have one similar to it, so I opted not to. Okay, Ashley Blank. I recently purchased a Louis Vuitton Multicolor in Noir. Alma Multicolor in Noir. I bought it with the intention of selling it because of the good deal. If you were to sell yours, what price tag would you put on it? Do you think replacing the Vachetta on the bag would make it more valuable? Ooh, congratulations, the multicolor Alma. You know, I go back and forth still with keeping it and selling it. Every time I go to sell it, there's something in me that I'm like, no, don't get rid of it. And yes, the Vachetta on mine has to be replaced, but for some reason it doesn't bother me. And if I was to sell it, I honestly don't know what price tag I would put on it. I have no idea. I would always recommend, you know, checking out other, maybe go on to eBay or maybe Fashion File or other pre-loved websites and kind of see what they're going for depending upon the quality that you have. But would replacing the Vachetta make it more valuable? It would, but it would also kind of deter the fact of the good deal to a certain extent. So let's say you paid $400 for it, right? The Alma retails for $1,500 here in the state, or it used to retail for $1,500 here in the States. And I have to tell you guys something about multicolor as well. So I just have to hold on to that thought. Hopefully I don't forget by the end of this video. But anyways, I think when I was quoted about replacing the Vachetta, I think it was going to be closer to, I think she said like $750, something, or maybe it was $800, but it made it to the point where if I replaced the Vachetta and what I paid for the Alma, it was closer to a retail size, a retail price bag. So in that sense, if you were to replace the Vachetta, it wouldn't, because the Vachetta is the most expensive part to replace the leather, right? So it would deter the fact of, like I said, the good deal. And if you were to sell it, people might say, well, for, you know, $200, I could just get a brand new one. So you always have to worry about that. I would just say keep it. It's a beautiful bag. I don't know if you got the older one or if you got the newer one with a little key bell, but I think they're great. And I think you can't go wrong with either one, or with, you know, replacing it. If I would replace it if you were to keep it in your collection, but if you were to just sell it, I would probably keep it the way that it is. Okay. Oh, and let me tell you guys about the multicolor before I forget. So I was talking to a representative on the 1866 number. We were talking for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And I started to tell her about multicolor and how it was discontinued as of the 31st. And I'm so sad, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what she told me? She specifically said, regardless as to what other bloggers are saying and other representatives, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. She said, we are not discontinuing the multicolor line. We are just releasing it in very small quantities. I said, okay. She's like, I created a frenzy, so everybody started buying it up. Okay, I understand. And she said that in other countries, they sell multicolor very well, so there's no reason to be able to get rid of it. So it makes me wonder, did someone leak out that information so that we would all go crazy buying it? Because it worked. I mean, you can hardly find any pieces that are multicolor. So isn't that that's wrong, right? And I told her, I said, no, I specifically remember talking to a representative and they said that it was discontinued as of the 31st. She said, no, I know that there's been blogs and there's been this and there's been that, but that is not true. It is still with the line, but we are just not offering it at the same rate that we were offering it before. Shady in my opinion. But anyways, let's get going because this video is going to be super long. Okay. Nahalen, I'm so sorry. What are your thoughts on the watercolor aquarelle print? Do you think it's more appealing than the multicolor? I wish they had SLGs in that print. The watercolor print that came out, I believe in 2008, I love it. I absolutely love the watercolor print. I agree with you. I wish that it came in SLGs. I can imagine a clay in it. I can imagine a cosmetic case or a wallet, something. But I think they're beautiful. Do I think it's more beautiful than the multicolor? You know what? I wouldn't say it's more beautiful or I think it's better. I think they're beautiful in their own way and I like them both equally for different aspects. But I think they're beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful pieces, especially the Speedy 35. Oh, it's to die for. Okay. Julia Demmer, what are your thoughts on the Chanel Medallion Tote? I really do like the Medallion Tote. I don't know if I think it is discontinued if I'm not mistaken. But for those of you that don't know what it looks like, just envision a GST instead of having the chain handle and maybe a little bit more boxy, instead of having the chain handle, it has an all leather handle. So it does have that double CC, and the reason it's called a medallion tote is because the zipper, I believe it does have a zipper pull, or maybe it doesn't, but it has a little medallion that kind of hangs on the side, and I like it. If you don't want a GST because of the chain and because of the size, and you still want the Chanel quilted classic look, I think that the Chanel medallion tote is a great way to go. I love the bag, and especially because it is so soft, because it is all leather. So I think it's a great investment piece, definitely. Okay, Laura Greenfield, do you own an H belt? And if not, will you ever purchase one? I do not own an H belt, and to be honest, I appreciate the H belts. I love the Louis Vuitton belts. I am just not a person that looks good with belts whatsoever. It doesn't fit my body frame, my style. It just looks funky on me, and I love belts, but they don't look good on me, so therefore I wouldn't purchase one. But I really want to get one for my brother for his birthday. The reversible H kit. I think they're fabulous, especially because they're so simple. They're so classic. Beautiful pieces. Okay, Alexis JP, who is your Disney princess? This is a funny question. I like this. My Disney princess would have to be Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, or Rose, Briar Rose. Just because when I was a kid, I watched this movie every single day. Not for months, no, for years before I started kindergarten. I loved that movie. I mean, she was just so beautiful with her golden hair, and then she had those 3 fairies to help her out with everything, and her Prince Charming. Oh my goodness, I fell in love with the movie. My mom would always, she'd always laugh because she's all, there she is watching Sleeping Beauty again. So Aurora would have to be my Disney princess. Always have a soft spot for her. Okay, Tanya Castuaro, I'm sorry. I was wondering if you know why LV canvas tends to curl with time. I wish I had a piece right here, but I don't. But I know what you mean, how the canvas tends to curl. Sometimes with wallets, I'll just use my Chanel walk for just a reference. Sometimes the wallets tend to curl on the edges here, or other SLGs. Sometimes I think that happens just because of storage, the way that it was stored before. There might be some ways to be able to restore it by doing it. And what I would do is, because you can kind of try to retrain the canvas or the leather, it might be a little bit difficult, but I would always try to set it down with something a little bit heavier on top. Not something that would damage the piece, but heavier on top, and leave it there for a few days so that you can retrain the canvas. I did that with one of my girlfriends. She had a Sarah wallet, and it started to curl up the sides, and I did that with hers, and I was able to retrain the canvas back to the way that it was. But like I said before, I think it's usually poor storage. Another thing that happens with Louis Vuitton pieces is that especially on Speedies, these tend to curl up for the same reason, because when they put them in the dust bags, the dust bag tends to get stuck here, and if you store it there for maybe, a month, a week, or a few months, it'll start to make the leather stay a certain way. So I always say try to store your pieces as best as you possibly can, therefore ensuring the life of the piece. Okay, Lore's Hendy, I'm sorry. Just wondering how you store your bags at night that you are using. Do you take all the contents out, put it in its dust bag, or leave it out since you'll be using it the following day? No, any bag that I'm using, I pretty much just leave it out. I usually either put it on my chair, or I have a little cabinet or a little dresser thing that I put it on top, and I just leave it out. Especially, I mean, it could get kind of tiring sometimes to take everything out, but I think it still holds its shape regardless. Even if you have your items in there, I think you're fine. But no, I know some people do actually take out all of their items, put it in the dust bag, and then start the process all over again every day. But I just, like I said before, I think it's a little time consuming, and you won't hurt the bag by leaving it out with its items inside. Okay, Kitty Moo Moo 1923. I'm on the wait list at Neiman Marcus for a dark red distressed gold hardware boy bag coming out for Act 2. I'm over 50 years old. Do you think this will look silly on me? Are you kidding me? No freaking way. You know what? Fashion has no age, in my opinion. Absolutely none. I think whether you're 20 or whether you're 80 or 90 or 100, you can still rock a Chanel bag, a Louis Vuitton bag, an Hermes bag, no matter what age you are. I think they will look fabulous, and I can't wait to see it. My goodness. We're friends on Instagram, and she has, oh my goodness, she's always telling me about some of the things that she has, and she has one of my holy grails, which is the red GST with the silver hardware. But no, absolutely not. I say go for it. I think you'll look fab no matter what. Can't wait to see a picture of it. Andrew 23. Can I ask you what you think of the zippy compact wallet in Damier Ebene? I noticed you don't have it in your collection. I don't. I love the zippy compact wallet, but I already have the Insolent wallet, and I used to have a larger zippy organizer. And I'm just the type of person that if I already have, you know, a pretty good selection of wallets, I won't end up getting another one because it might take place of another piece that I already have. So to be able to continue with my rotation and using the pieces as much as I do, I like the collection that I have. If I was to get a new wallet, I would end up selling another one to make room for that one, if that makes any sense. But I like the rotation that I have, but I love them. I like the fact that they're compact and they fit pretty much almost as much as a zippy organizer, and they're just great little wallets. So I am a fan, definitely am a fan. Okay, and last question. I'm at 26 minutes. Nisha Remus. I have a big move coming up. I plan on packing up all of my luxury goods and handing them off to the movers. I plan on taking all my multicolor and other valuables with me, but it's not possible for me to take them all. It could take up to 3 months to get my items. How do you suggest to safely pack my items and protect them from a potentially hot environment? Whew, this is a difficult question, so I'm going to need a lot of you guys to help out Nisha Remus in the comments down below. What I would do, especially if it's going to take about 3 months to get it, I would take out, if you usually store your bags with clothing, I'm not saying you do, but people sometimes do, store their items with clothing. Take that out because that could create moisture. Take out anything that might create moisture. I might even go as far as saying taking out any tissue paper, because tissue paper might be fine, but maybe air paper, take that out because the air paper might pop over time, especially in those 3 months if it's in a confined space. So I would make sure anything that could create moisture, take it out. Another thing, you might want to put in those silica packets, the gel packets, because those absorb moisture. So you can always, you know, be safe with that as well. And if you were to use air paper to store them, make sure, like I said before, put those gel silica packets in there to absorb it, but make sure that you stuff them to the point where you stuff them enough so that when you take them out of the boxes, the bags still have their shape. Because over time, if you have too many bags that are laying on top of each other, such as this one, then you have this one, and they're not stored properly, you can lose the quilts on your Chanel. And I believe you have Chanel Caviar and Calfskin, and you have Louis Vuitton Canvas, Epi, and Empreinte, if I'm not mistaken. So just make sure that you leave them in their dust bags and fill them up as much to be able to keep their shape. That is first and foremost what I would say. And really the gel packets will really help you to take out any moisture, because that is the main concern, is the fact that a hot environment with that much leather and that much, you know, whether it's paper or plastic, will create moisture, and you want to avoid that as much as possible. But oh my goodness, I hope if you guys have any other tidbits that we can help her out with, let us know in the comments section down below. I'm even curious because, you know, when it comes to moving some of these luxury goods, you start collecting, you put them aside, and then you're like, oh, what am I going to do when I move? Because you can't take them all with you. Although, I think, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably take the seats out of my car or something to put them all in there. But That's what I would suggest. Okay, but that concludes our Minks Monday Q&A. And I know I really went into depth about the quality control as far as Louis Vuitton goes. And like I said, these are just my opinions, you guys. Obviously I don't work for the companies. And obviously you guys ask me questions. So I just want to give you my 2 cents on it. Not everyone will agree with it, but it is what it is. But thank you guys so much for all the wonderful questions. And if you guys, I had to answer some online as well, so please check those out. And always, you guys can always ask me any question, or you can DM me, or you know, whatever it is. But I hope I can help you guys out with some of these answers. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a reveal video. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.